Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Thursday edition of the Bumper Breakfast Show on MITV. Today, I have very special guests in the studio with me. And guess what? It was making its rounds on social media how this highbrow private school in Ekpe, gave scholarship to a few students from the government school. And of course, I had my nose everywhere until I found that school. And I went there and I met with the principal of the school. And, I thanked them and I asked for them to tell me the story of what exactly happened. So today I'm bringing them live on the program. And what are we discussing this morning? The girl child. Which way forward? It's common knowledge that the girl will grow into a lady and into a woman. Eventually, somebody comes and asks her hand in marriage. She gets married and starts to bear children. And for some, that's the end of the road. But it's a different generation now, and people are seeing things differently. And so, some child somewhere in Ekpe decided that no, this trend must stop. The girl child must go to school. The girl child must be given adequate opportunities, And here we are today. I have with me in the studio the principal of Nyanda International School, Ekpe. She's to my left, Mrs. Aladetimi.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming all the way from Ekpe this morning. Yes. Thank you for being on the breakfast show. And I have to my right, Miss Aladetimi, but you'll do a proper introduction of yourself, okay? Very soon. And I have Barakat with me, okay? So together we will be discussing this topic, the girl child, which way forward. So Miss Aladetimi, let's start with you. You're the principal of Nyanda International School.
Yes, I am.
Okay. And you have absorbed 2 children from the government school. Now, how did that happen?
Wow. Well, it wouldn't have happened without the girls. Normally, we go out to do voluntary services to different schools, primary, secondary school, and reach out to people. But then we always go with the students, the boys and the girls. We give them items what we don't use anymore.
Or you give to the public school?
Public schools, like chairs, tables, and books.
Really?
And then when we got back to school, these 2 young women,
young ladies,
these girls, they came up and said, it was disheartening to see the ratio at which the number of girls in the classroom compared to boys, and they had asked certain schools and the teachers and the principals and some teachers said, they had more boys than girls because of the riverine area, and girls are prone to go back home to help their parents. So it was a back and front, and then we talked about to our executive director after they came. They wanted 1 girl. I think they'll tell the story themselves.
They'll tell the story themselves. Okay, so we have 2 storytellers in the studio. You want to introduce yourselves?
Sure.
Yes, so.
Okay, good morning. My name is Kemi Aladetimi.
And you are?
Good morning. My name is Baraka Ibishomi, and I am a student of Nyanda International School.
Okay, so you have a story to tell us, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so who's going to start telling the story first?
I think Fiayo should go first.
Okay, Fiayo, let's hear from you.
Okay, so Baraka and I were very, very saddened by our experience in the public school, and we even asked, why are there not many girls in the school? And we were told that many girls are not in the school because the parents are not really educated to that level to see that their girl child needs to attend school, needs to have a formal education. And Baraka and I sought the audience of our executive director in person, Dr. Diola Ayolinde.
And then she gave us not only 1 girl, but 2 girls. That is such a nice movement. We were expecting 1 girl, but we were shocked when she admitted 2 girls into our school. That was such a surprise.
And those girls are doing very, very well. And I'm very, very happy to see that now they are getting the formal education that we receive at Nyanda International School.
Okay, so Mrs. Aladetimi, how easy was it for you to absorb them? I mean, how did you go about it? Okay, so they came and made the suggestion because they saw that these girls, first of all, they saw that the ratio of girls to boys in the public school was not encouraging. And then they just thought, okay, let's give these girls the opportunity that we have. So they came to you,
Yes.
and you went to your director.
Yes. For us at Neander, even admitting students into a private school, it costs a lot of money, and it's a whole lot of back up front thinking, you have to admit people in the school fees, because you're writing on full scholarship, it's a boarding school, everything, uniform, books provided. And it was something we talked with the executive director about, and she also had the board meetings with the owners, and I think they said it was fine. It's
And they took two
yes,
children.
two. We were surprised because it was one. We're looking at one child, and we're looking at the junior student, and they were like, why not open it to both schools so that both the junior girl and the senior girl benefit from that venture. And it wasn't an easy choice because you have to set exams, because we just don't want to have anybody. We also want to encourage people to go to school, so we had to do lots of people turned up. We had Saturday, loads of students came from the different schools.
Oh, so you actually went to the schools to
went
say to them,
school. Actually, funny enough, we wrote a letter to the government, because they did it, even when we went to the government schools, they weren't like, just come and do the exams. So we had to go to our district, our local government district, the education district. We wrote a letter to give approval, and then we opened up to the different schools, and they came in on Saturdays. Funny enough, we even had some people who snuck from some private schools who wanted to have the scholarship, but we were open to seeing a different, because it wasn't just about saying, girls. They were already in school, so it wasn't like, they were on the streets or something. Or they were looking for quality too, because a lot of them are from homes where their parents probably, how in private schools you say their parents have a bit of affluence in the society, and so they were thinking, can we have them?
And you
Yes.
would they be able to settle in?
Yes, settle into that environment.
Integrate.
So
yes.
I think they've been doing well. They have one-on-one with them in the hostels and in the classrooms, apart from all being teachers and people who want them to have that education. But beyond just saying, bring them, but we also wanted to give them a lifestyle, an opportunity to even dream bigger. Because they could also have scholarship to anywhere in the world they think or they wanted to go to school. So it was just not just bringing them into the school, but also for them to dream bigger, that you can also attain better heights in education, even being a girl in the society.
Well, I didn't give you the opportunity to introduce yourself properly, so I'll give you that opportunity now.
All right, so my name is Tori Hawa Aladitini. I'm the principal of the Neander International School at Beth.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Aladetimi. Now, you see, you brought these girls from public schools into your private school, and according to the girls, they have integrated properly, they settled in, and they're doing well.
Yes.
Now, the question is, some of them are from not very privileged homes, and basically fishermen, market women background in Ekpe, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when they leave Neander, what happens next? What happens next? I mean, how do they get at? Are you going to sponsor them further? I mean, how do they further their education? Because having tasted of this so-called better life, how will they be able to go back to mix with the same people that they grew up with? That's the first thing. And then, what's the future going to be like for them hereafter?
Well,
I think we'll take a break and then we'll come back and take your answer. Okay? This is the Bumper Breakfast on MITV. We'll take a break right now and we'll come back shortly.
We don't tire for where we dey, oh yeah. Now so promise and fail, oh yeah. And it don't take, we don't dey wait. PDP don't come again. Jando malole she, Alama tele o. Jando for governor. Jando under PDP. Jando 2023. Jando Alama tele o. Jando for governor. Jando for Lagos. Jando.
dìbò fún Dr. Abdulaziz Ọlájídé Adédìran Jandor fún ipò gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó lábẹ́ àsíá ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú Ọlọ́mbrẹ́là PDP, power to the people.
Doha, this is Qatar. We come together tonight, a billion of us, in every corner of the globe where the beautiful game matters.
Here for the show-stopping magic of a moment.
Get DSTV Compact with an HD decoder plus dish kit for only 14,900 naira to watch all 64 matches. Here for every fan.
You're welcome back to the breakfast show on MITV, a Thursday edition. I have with me three wonderful human beings, two ladies, young ladies, and one woman. Thank you for coming on the show again. Thank you so much for taking the pain to come all the way from Ekpe. That's a huge one. When did you leave Ekpe? 4 a.m. Thank you for the sacrifice. Okay, so we'll take your answer right away. Fiayo.
Well, based on the question that Ms. Tone asked before the break, Meander is a school that teaches you morals, and then in Meander, we are taught that we cannot forget our past, even though we move into our future. Now, these girls have a future of being in Meander International School right now, but I am very sure that they will never forget where they came from, how they came from, their friends in old school. These girls I'm talking about, they are very, very humble. And they are very grateful to have this opportunity. And I am myself, I'm grateful to Dr. D and also to the administrator of our school and also to Ms. Stone for giving us this opportunity and actually shedding light on the girl child. Trust me, they would actually never forget where they came from. They would never forget their society and even their friends.
Barakat, you have something to add to that?
Well, to answer the question about their future, we don't just start something and end midway. No, we are going to give them, this is more like an opportunity for them to dream bigger. Parents are out there, there are organizations out there who are willing to help them. Parents are there, even the executive director, the owners of the school, they are there to help them along the way. We have initiatives that can help them, sponsor them throughout their higher education, their university, even if they want to go for that. This is not the end. Like, we are going further. This is just the beginning.
Okay, so Mrs. Aladetimi, these two children we speak about, are you really going to ensure that perhaps they get scholarships to tertiary institutions? I mean, are you going to, do you think that luck will smile on them the way it has smiled on them now? Do you think it will continue to smile on them? Do you think there are parents out there who are willing to help them? No one person can do it alone. We know that, but I mean, organizations, just as Baraka said, to help them, continue their education. It's very difficult to have climbed the ladder and to come down that ladder. So you've started something, and I pray that God will help you to finish it. Now let's look at the girl child proper. Which way forward? I mean, why is it that some people are of the opinion that the girl child should not be formally educated? Why are they of that opinion? And what can be done?
Okay, I think we're in the 21st century right now. We talk about globalization and change. Well, I think in Africa we're still struggling. We're still struggling with having women being seen or even being heard. So I think the girl child is a big deal. I'm not to say the boy child, there's something shouldn't be done about them, but people just literally think that the woman will end in the kitchen or end in a man's house. So why invest so much? Why do you want to give her that opportunity that you can give to a boy? Because the boy should, is going to take care of a family, the girl will end up in a family, and that is stereotype. Because every child has something to offer. Not necessarily that, oh, the girl is going to be the head of the house and be the. But we have women who are not even married, women who are in the high society level and they're taking care of other things. So we're trying to teach our children that you can be independent as a young woman, and also to let people know that the female or the child or the woman child or the girl child is important, and she has value too. She has something to offer. Thank God we had somebody like Ngozi Weller.
We have people. We have
Mandela.
females who have excelled in various areas. Okay, and so we're not taking the girl child out because the boy child is not important. No, that's not what we're doing. But the topic today is the girl child, which way forward. And the reason we're discussing this topic today is because there is, the focus on the girl child is not as much as the focus on the boy child. So we want to create awareness. We want people to realize that the girl child also needs to be formally educated, because she can go far. She can be a great person in future. So we don't want to limit the girl child. Having said that, we will break this program into two segments. The second segment, we will talk about formal education generally, the advantages, the disadvantages, and every other thing associated to formal education. But right now we're talking about the girl child. It's important that some people know that the girl child needs, to get some attention, and she needs to be formally trained, formally educated. And I'm grateful that this school has done this. And when I read it on social media, I was really excited about it. And I came immediately to find out what was going on. I hope you've not been on any other television program, have you? So we're the first.
Yes.
We're the first.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm happy that you're on the program, and what we're doing, in other words, is we're letting people know that the girl child is important and should not be limited. Correct? Correct? Am I correct or am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. So how do we create this awareness? A girl who grows up and has a fisherman father and a trader mother, and whose parents don't even think that they should do anything for her. What do we do to ensure that the parents
like I said,
get involved?
Before we started the scholarship program, we weren't all about the scholarship initially. We were about reaching out, because we also found out that even parents were struggling. Most of the schools we went to, they were struggling to feed the children to go to school. So this initiative is beyond just giving one child a scholarship. We're even looking at how we can also address issues like school uniforms. We got to school, some people couldn't afford school shoes.
In government
school
schools.
bags.
So you want to reach out generally.
Reach out generally, but it was in that whole entry or going around that we discovered that the ratio of boys in the class were much more than the girls, and questions were being asked. And I still really asked those questions like, why are there more boys in this class and less girls in the class? And then you begin to see that, these questions were coming out, that the women were like, that girls will get pregnant easily, so when they get pregnant, so they just come back and join us to fish or something. So our boys will be better off if they go, they feed the family. It was just so many things that our eyes were open to. So it's so important that we're here, so that people out there listening will know that even what we say, you can be in your very easy palace and you can easily forget that there are other people who the ratio of poverty, the ratio of divide between the girl child and the male child is still very much
it's a wide gap.
Yes, the wide gap.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it needs to be bridged, and it really needs to be put back together so that we can have a balance at least. Even if we don't have a big, or we can at least
we can close the gap.
Close that gap.
Okay, so you can join us on the program. The number to call is 08027 696860. I'll take that again, 08027 696860. The girl child, which way forward? That's the topic for today. Now, do you think that some government are there any government policies in place, that can ensure that all children get equal access to formal education?
Yes, I think the National Orientation Agency is big on values. They are big on awareness. I think they should do more. They, should
Okay.
they have to really go back to the basic and talk to people. They have to shed more light to the government. We also look at the House of Assembly, the House of Rep, the people representing the different local government area, the chair people in the different local government councils, the councillors too. These little faces, I mean, are different churches, mosques, society. We all have a big role to do in this issue of educating the girl child.
So we're saying the National Orientation Agency has a huge role to play.
Huge role.
So that should be on them, really. You think so?
Well, they're meant to make the government agencies accountable to the public. So I think they should they should make sure that the government agencies know their rules and what they are meant to do. They should make sure that they push for the female children or the female child to go to school. It's not just about creating the schools. What's the use if nobody is going there? Like, you need to be sure that there are people that are actually attending the school, that there are people benefiting. Because you can't just create something and just give it. Nothing is done like that. This is not to put the government in a bad light. It's just they need to take more of a stand on this issue.
What needs to be done needs to be done. The girl child needs to be formally educated. I mean, so there's absolutely nothing wrong in you expressing yourself. If the government needs to sit up, they need to sit up. If that's what you observe, so be it. So just feel free, I mean, because we need to actually thrash this issue properly. And don't be afraid. The government is not coming at you. The government doesn't work like that, okay? I mean, this is what you call constructive criticism. So if you're telling them that this is what you observe, because this is not what anyone told you. You actually went to the government schools. You went to reach out to them. You went to give them things. You went to extend a hand of fellowship to them, you know, and you made the observation. All of you made the observation, but two of you came up with this idea and said, look, let us reach out. Let's bring them into our fold, make them feel like. And then do you realize it's a two-way traffic? So it's not as if they're experiencing what you have been experiencing all your lives, but you are also experiencing what they've been through. I'm sure, you know, they have friends, you know, they've told you some of the things that they've been through. So you're seeing it from a different light. Because I tell you something, Mr. Aladetimi, some people do not know that others are suffering, others have challenges, because it's rosy for them. So when you learn these things, when you see these things, it's some sort of experience for you. You're able to talk, you know, with a lot of passion, understanding what these people have been through, what they're going through, and what some will continue to go through. And that will put you in a position to determine to make a change. And that's what you're doing. And, you know, I applaud you. I applaud you as individuals, both of you. You've done very well. And I applaud your school. I applaud you, Mrs. Aladetin, for leading, you know, with so much passion and, you know, a vision. And I applaud your board or whoever has, you know, helped you to achieve this. We need to find a solution to, you know, the girl child. We'll take a break right now and we'll come back shortly and we'll continue with this program. Please stay tuned.
And that is what we got to do.
We don't tire for where we dey, oh yeah. Now so promise and fail, oh yeah. And it don't take, we don't dey wait. PDP don't come again. Jando malo le ṣe Alama tẹ̀lé o. Jando for governor. Jando under PDP. Jando 2023. Jando Alama tẹ̀lé o. Jando for governor. Jando for Lagos. Jando for everybody. Yeah. Jando Jafeku. Fight for Lagos. Jando Jafeku. Fight for Lagos.
Vote Dr. Abdulaziz Olajide Adediran Jandor as Governor of Lagos State. PDP! Power to the people!
Husband killer dey outside. He dey waka.
Passion and ambition.
Look at the way my boss was looking at you.
I'm maybe someone.
Incessant crime and deceit.
I tell you, don't get go worse past corridor. 400 council.
Intertwined in the corridors of power.
I know you killed GPT and set him up.
On and off the streets.
Hey, don't try to be smart with me. I'm an officer of the law.
Covenant. Showing weekdays at 8 p.m. WAT on Africa Magic Showcase.
Welcome back to the breakfast show on MITV. Today we're discussing the girl child, and we're asking which way forward. We want the girl child to be formally educated. Now, Mrs. Aladitin, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think that there are any cultural practices that need to be looked into, that need to be amended, that need to be adjusted, such that they can see clearly, such that the girl child is more important than she already is?
That's quite a lot.
Because I think culture
Yes,
is
culture.
actually holding the girl child down as well.
Yes, I think so. I think in homes, the traditional leaders and even to our churches, because culture also spreads right into our churches, into our mosques, and people should also realize that women are not articles. They're not a thing for decoration. They're not about our face. They're much more than our face. Our parents, our mothers do more. In fact, even mothers who were not formally educated, they had a lot of education on their own when that child is sick, how they nurture. And so when you expand a child, especially the girl child, when you build her early, she's able to do much more.
Much more, certainly.
She's able to do much more because she holds the home, and when she knows what to do, when she can also bring more to the table. And right now, in Nigeria, the way it is, I have having a conversation when we're coming, the way it is, more parents are out there, men and women. And so if the woman is not able to compete, she's not going to be able to bring something to the table that would even help your child. You don't even know how to help your child in school. Not even that boy child you want to even do so. If you don't have a mother at home that can even nurture him enough to learn to do certain things. So it's a real thing why culture has this culture where people think girls should get married and they'll get pregnant by the time they're teenagers.
So what should we do how can we address that?
Like we say again, more orientation.
It's just orientation.
Going back to the
We need to
grassroots.
reach, that's it. We need to reach the grassroots. We need to, let them understand, let them see successful girls who have stemmed from within them and see how well they're doing. Perhaps that would encourage them. So perhaps, I'm just saying, Funke and Esther, I just give them names, Funke and Esther who have come from the government school and joined you. perhaps Funke becomes a doctor tomorrow, and Esther becomes a lawyer, and goes back home to Ekpe, and they say, oh, things like that. I think would encourage and break the cultural, bond that's holding them down. What do you think?
Yeah, I also think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
So what did you observe when you went there? Apart from what did you observe? Apart from the fact that it was a government school and they were not getting enough. What did you observe? And apart from the fact that the boys, outnumbered the girls, what else did you observe when you went to the schools?
Another thing I observed when I went to the school is that
You need to speak a little louder.
Another thing I observed when I went to the school is that they think that they have to remain in that poverty trap. Do you quite understand what I'm saying?
Oh, very well.
That they don't see ahead of whatever their lifestyle is now. They fail to see ahead of it. They fail to the girl child in that school. At least we try to have a conversation with some of them, and they don't see more than what they are. They don't see more than we're going to school. Just the few of them that were there, they're just going to school to just get a formal education. Usually when boys get
and most of them stop at the primary level, like
for the secondary
most
level.
of them speak to, they just stop at the primary level.
And you see, usually when boys are on top of their class, even if your father is a fisherman, he's going to celebrate you in his own little way. But when they get at the top of the class and there's a boy in that house, they would obviously feel like the girl is trying to
outshine the boy. So they try to put her down.
Yes, that's what I kind of noticed. And I also noticed that because the parents are quite financially unstable, pardon me to say,
Constrained. Financially constrained. Yes.
They have to make a decision between sending their female children to school and their male children to school. And personally speaking, we all know that a female is going to get married and go to her husband's house. So in their little orientation, at least they are giving someone a formal education. It doesn't specifically have to be the female child. And they don't quite understand that all children are equal.
Yeah.
Not because of their gender or because of what you think they can bring to the table. Because usually when males get married, it's their family now. Females are the ones that still look back and think, oh, my mother, my father. So yes, I feel like we should also think about that. Instead of trying to make a decision between two children, it can also mentally affect your female child into thinking that they don't really matter just because you are sending the male child to school. They might not even quite understand that it's also because of the financial constraint.
Okay, so the number to call if you want to join us, if you want to be part of this show, you can reach us on 08027 696860. I'll take that again, 08027 696860. I'm sure the number is displayed on the screen anyway. So culture, could hold the girl child back.
Yeah.
What about religion? Barakat, are you Muslim?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's take it from that angle.
Well, in geography and economic classes, we speak about overpopulation in our society. But what do you expect? You don't send especially in Islam, sorry to say, but you allow men to marry at a young age. You allow them to have more than one wife.
Okay, sorry, Barakat. I need to put this out there again. 08027 696860. You want to be part of this show, you want to call in, you want to make a contribution, you want to ask a question, please reach us on 08027 696860. I'll take that one more time. 08027 696860. We're expecting you to call us. Okay, so Baraka.
Well, as I was saying, in Islam, it is allowed for you to have up to 4 wives, and most of them get married.
4 or 5?
Up to 4.
4, just
Yes.
4. Oh, okay.
So-
No, I don't know. I have the impression it was 5.
And the problem is that most of them get married at a young age. They drop out of school, they just finish their secondary school education, and boom, they're straight into marriage. And then they start producing babies at early ages. We speak of overpopulation, but what do you expect when you don't give them formal education? You don't give them. They don't have anything to do other than just going to marriage. You're just putting them out there. But when they go through school, when they have something to do, when they know that they are worth something other than just being a baby producing machine, that is not how it goes. Like, religion also has a huge impact on the way we think, on the views we have on the female child. So
You think so too?
Yes, I do.
You do? From the Christian angle?
Yes, even from the Christian angle.
Oh, really?
Yes, because Christians, we also as Christians still send our male children to school and still think that the female children are baby machines. You know that there are also controversies in the different breakdown of Christian churches on whether girls can go to school or girls cannot go to school. There are also so much controversies. There's also more celebration for the male children, even in Christian places. Like, it hurts me so much to see that, as a woman, if I am, like, I got asked a question recently that you want to study aeronautical engineering from a Christian, from a well-known Christian, and then how would you stay at home to take care of your children and your husband? How would you cook? And I'm like, yes, as a female role, you should cook, sure, but it is not mandatory. It is not what I was brought to this world for. I'm not brought to this world to only give birth to children and cook and make sure that a man is living properly or has his well-being. And then they put that mentality in young girls' heads, so they don't see anything other than that. Especially when they see their moms go through the same thing because of their moms' poor orientation to formal education for females. It's very disheartening, also from the Christian side.
Okay, so you want to be an aeronautical engineer?
Yes.
What do you want to become when you grow old?
I also want to become an aeronautical engineer. I also had that same experience because someone asked why I want to go into engineering. Person said that, I should go into medicine because engineering is not for females. And I just smiled and looked at the person and I was like, thank you for your advice, but I don't
Thank
think
you,
it should
but
be
no
like
thank
that.
you.
Exactly.
Thank you, but no thank you. So, Mrs. Alanese, you guys are faced with a whole lot.
Yes. So there's this stereotype about what girls should be choosing, even in school. I mean, we face that with parents, not just, differently. So for the female child, you are told, why don't you be a nurse, or why don't you be a doctor? Why don't you don't look for that? Don't go for that profession that will take you away from your home.
Because you have to cook.
Yes, you have to raise children, and then your husband will not. The family, how would you? So it's always the girl child is always apart from you even formally educating her. They're always wanting to put them in a box. People want to dictate. Okay, now we want to educate you. We want to dictate where or how you should be educated. So I it's not like that for boys. The boy can think, I want to be an engineer, I want to be this, I want to be that.
And he gets all the support.
He gets the support because he's a boy. So he can go anywhere, he's a man, he can go anywhere, he can travel anywhere, he can... So why can't a girl do that? So you have our young girls in this 21st century who are plagued with this decision, and then because when they are striving again at their homes or at their church or at their society, when they have those thoughts to be bigger than what they want to be, they can't dream, because even their moms too, stylish, if your auntie, your mom, your sister will tell you, no, I'll take it easy now, how will you even climb that thing as a girl, they give you all sorts of stories. So for us, even in education, is another job to do. So getting girls to be educated is one thing. How they should be educated is another thing. What they should be educated on is another thing. Where they should also be educated. So even the schools they will think of wanting to go. So if you say, I want to go further away from home, even as a girl child is also challenging when we try to do career counseling. I wouldn't want my child to be far away. Now,
I don't want to be able to monitor them.
So, but the boy can go far away. And then you see all of the vices in the society. And you see that male children too also now have this sense of entitlement that now runs through how they bring their daughters up. And not to say that there are very good men out there too that have broken away from the stereotype, but there are few. So we're trying to educate everybody even the boys in our school, we talk to them. Talk to the girl better.
Mm-hmm.
Don't see your other females saying like, why should the girl be in my class?
Yeah,
And
they're substandard.
so sometimes when girls are doing better than girls in the classroom, we hear fathers tell their boys at home,
How can a girl
beat you? I mean, it's
that happens a lot?
Yes.
And it's a challenge for you.
Yes.
So who in your class? I mean, are you in the same class?
Yes. Yeah.
So who does better, the male or the female
The
child?
female.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Is it out of this determination to not be your child? No, it's just natural.
It's just natural.
It's God
I
given.
was saying mix of both.
It's a mix of both. Baraka, tell me about it. It's a mix of both.
Yeah.
So you are determined to to thrash them.
Yeah.
Because they want to downplay your abilities.
Yes.
Correct. Mr. Ladidi, about how many females do you have in your school? I mean, do they outnumber the males?
No, you see, that's the same thing.
That's the same problem you have as well.
They have more boys
Oh my God.
than girls.
Oh
Not
really?
because the girls are not going to school, but because they feel need that why should girls go to a boarding school? Like why should they take their girls to a boarding school?
Oh, and your school is just a boarding only. Oh well, it will be because it's so far, Ekpe. So I'm sure it will be boarding only.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Ladidi, she's your daughter.
Yes.
Oh really? Yayo, how do you cope with your mom being in school? Do you like it? Oh my God, we need to find a way forward. So Funke and Cynthia, for example, are they happy being in your midst? Are they really, really happy for the opportunity? When I say Funke and Cynthia, I mean I'm giving these two people names again. Are they happy to be in your midst? Are they happy for the opportunity that has been given to them? And are they doing well academically?
Yes, they have been able to keep that standard.
Have they attained the standard that you?
Yes, they
Are you
have.
serious?
Yeah. And socially.
And
they are
socially.
also doing they are actually picking up unlike when they first came. And
How was it when they first came?
I don't know if they felt like we were stuck up.
Because the level of interaction now
It's different from when
way
they
different
first
from
came.
when they first came.
So
Even the other students, it was weird
Yeah, kind of.
to have them to. Not like they're not welcoming, but
They just did not know how
how
to
to
approach them without making them
feel uncomfortable because it's different if the person was a transfer student from another private
School.
Yes.
So did you warn them in advance?
Oh, they know that.
You want them in advance to be warm
Yeah,
and
so-
welcoming.
So for us, at Neander, it's like a culture. So even when we are having new students coming, like way ahead, we tell them. So we even have we have people who come all the way from the UK to school, so we tell the students already to
That you're
get them-
expecting
to
new-
expecting people, and this is how we expect you to behave. We know you can't always be 100% because everybody's not 100. So we try to also put them in that place. And even when the girls came in, because it's a different culture where you need to use your cutleries to eat. There's so many things you have to put into perspective.
Have they learned all of that?
Yeah.
Oh really?
So you have people assigned to them that would warm them up to ensure that they have a proper orientation into school. And I think so far so good.
So far so good.
They've been doing well. They've responded to everything we've done. And academically, they've also been a challenge to a couple of students who probably thought, they're stuck up there, somebody's coming from another school, and then they're giving them a run for hey, we're coming from a government school, doesn't mean that we're stupid. And so they've been, academically, they've challenged other students who thought they were, they were the class, and then this one is coming in and say, you know what, I can do better. And say, and what Baraka was saying, I think they also have something in them to say, you know what, I've come here to also win.
Yes.
I've come here to show you that I'm much more than just a girl on scholarship. I can be better. And
Okay.
that's something that I've seen. And
That's fantastic. That's really, really good. Honestly, I commend you. And I don't know. When I saw it, I said no. I must come. I must come. And I'm happy you are here. Do you advise that more schools for girls are established? Do you think that may be a solution? Do you think? You don't think?
Well, there's a lot of controversy going around all girls schools and all that. So
let's tell us some of the controversies.
Well, some people don't like the idea of just girls in one school, because when you go out there, when you leave the school, you're going into a society that is not just one gender. But I also feel that it gives them an opportunity to, we have some subjects that people define as male-dominated subjects, but when you're in an all-girls school and then you bring those subjects in, like they don't have to prove to anybody, like they can just do the subject for the fun of it, or because they think they are going to benefit from the subject. Because there are some subjects like technical drawing. In senior school now, I'm the only female student doing technical drawing, and
that's not so nice.
Exactly.
In your terms.
Yes.
That's not so nice.
Yes.
You'd rather have some more people. And why do you think people would want to run away from technical drawing?
I ran away from it.
Why? I want to know why.
Wow, this is interesting. Okay, so you're saying that there's controversy. So you're saying rather than create more girls' schools, create schools.
Yes.
More schools.
Yes, and the school.
And then, okay.
Outreaching. Yes. Outreaching school kids. Yes. Like
no, I don't quite get that.
Because the government outrageous school fees in the private schools.
Yes.
And then the government schools are not, are not up to standard. They don't have the right equipment that anybody's going to use for, except, in my opinion, I feel those girls really wanted to push beyond their limits because they are extremely smart. I've been there, I've been to those schools. They don't have the equipment to be able to handle some senior school subjects. Like what I've seen, technical drawing, for example. If 100 students are doing technical drawing and you only have 20 boards and some rulers are broken and stuff like that, or if the roof is detached and rain is entering the classroom, or if the place just looks untidy and unkept, it's not like fights are going on like it's a garage and stuff like that.
Did you see that when you went there?
Yeah.
You saw fights going on in the school?
Yes.
No, please, Mrs. Aladetimi, let her talk. I mean,
yes.
You did?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Wow. And there were no teachers to handle? Was it physical fights?
Almost. It was almost a physical fight.
Oh, really? Oh, my God. Okay, so let's not deviate from the topic.
Yes.
I mean, there's so many questions I really would like to ask because I'm inquisitive, I really want to know, but so we're suggesting that rather than girls' schools be created, more schools generally should be created, but the number of girls taken into those schools should outnumber the boys? No. So what do you want? We're saying the girl child should be should be educated. We're saying awareness needs to be created, and we're saying that right now the number of female children in schools, is nothing compared to the number of male children in schools. So we're suggesting, do we create more schools for females only? You say no. Do we create more schools for both male and female but have more females? You say no. So what do you want? What do you suggest? What is the way out?
So what we're trying to create here is an awareness on the imbalance between male child and female child in education. What we just want is to create a perfectly balanced
yes, I agree.
schooling environment.
But considering the ratio now, we want to make up for the numbers, don't we?
Yes.
If we must make up for the numbers, how do we do that?
It's not even only about making up for the numbers.
It's about what?
School itself. Because I live in Lagos, at least I'm seeing some girls go to school because they focus on metropolitan states like Lagos State, like places like Niger, like the Niger Delta and stuff like that. You don't see that. I have never been there.
Good.
But then,
I was going to ask you a follow-up question.
Yes, I have never been there. But the awareness on education is not as much as it is here in Lagos or Abuja. It's not as much, even in the north. Like making schools for only girls, we are trying to make equality, even though all children can never be equal. We're not trying to make it about the female children. We're just saying that they also matter and they also deserve to be given a chance.
A fair chance.
A fair chance. So if we keep opening more public schools and the public schools are deteriorating, because they're not, I don't see any improvement, they're just deteriorating, then the sole purpose of our talk here today is defeated. If the public schools are able to meet the standard of private schools, only here in Nigeria that you see that a public school is really below standard from private schools. Only here in Nigeria. Even the schools in Germany that are public, the universities, they are all on the same rank. There's no public school that is higher than anyone. Only here in Nigeria that you see that private schools are trying to tackle the government. Where? No. And that's why I feel like parents are also
they have a role to play.
Yes, they also have a role to play. And everyone can decide to educate one African female child at a time, because it's not also very easy to
okay,
educate.
let me quickly correct you, Fiayo. It's not only here in Nigeria, but this is the one you know.
Yes.
Okay, so you want to, if you say only here in Nigeria and then you are comparing with Germany, I think that's a bit too wide. So in Nigeria, and perhaps other African countries, because you don't know about the other African countries, so it's not only here in Nigeria, but in Nigeria, this is what you know. Okay, so these are the issues that we face in Nigeria, and you're saying, in other words, that rather than create more schools without the facilities for the children to learn, why don't they focus on the already established schools and give them a backing, give them financial backing, such that they can buy the equipment that they need, they can buy everything to facilitate, thorough and proper education for the children.
And you can assist the parents of the female children, because sincerely everyone knows that female children struggle with this education being able to go to school. So they could also assist the female children, the parents of the
so
children.
they should, the government, you're saying the government should encourage the parents of the female children, enlightenment campaigns, all sorts of campaigns,
just to help from where the kids are talking about. When we got into schools, it was about...
When you got into schools, what does that mean?
Yes, well, we got to the business of saying, let's go out, reach out to the public schools.
Public schools,
yes.
Okay.
We not only noticed that the buildings and all of those other things that make up the school books, but for you to get the students to school was another problem. Now, some of them don't have basic food. Food is a necessity, so they
need to eat before they come to school.
Lunch. We're told if we can give them lunch to even help support some students, because when they come into school, they're hungry, they're already tired, they don't have school bags, basic clothing even at home. So how do you go from school and go? Why would you go home and grab an assignment? So
when you've not eaten.
So all of these things, like the girls are noticing that, because I had kids who were crying. They were like, how can somebody be sleeping? I mean, how can somebody sit on this chair? How can somebody come to school with this kind of thing? Because it was like taking them, and I think my students have changed.
It was an eye-opener
for them. Because they are so comfortable with, I'm not enough, the food is not enough for us at the boarding school, this one is not enough, the snack time is not good enough for us, and then they are going into another territory where even you are still complaining of snack time and nap time food and all those extra food.
Some people don't even have food to eat.
To school. You are throwing your school shoes anywhere, you have 5-3 shoes to come to school, and somebody's struggling to have
a pair of shoes
to come to school. And these were all requests that they wanted us to help. And you see that it's a big deal. It's a very, very big deal in a society where say in quote Nigeria, we have everything as a nation, yet we're suffering, we're lagging behind in education again and again and again. And if you say you want to change a nation, you have to educate the minds of the people. And that's why we have all of these divides here and there. Like they said, it's not about building more schools. If you build more schools and just put blocks, and you don't have tables, you don't have chairs, you don't have boards, you don't have pens, you don't have pencils, the people who want to even come there, they don't even have the transportation to get there. Because they're even telling us that they need to take canoes during the high rainy season. The children want to come to school, so they have to take canoes to go and bring them, or use the keke napep thing to go and get some of them to come to school. So the teachers are even doing their best to even want to educate the students. So they have to even cajole. There's a whole lot of cajole parents. So we have food, we have snacks, we have this thing, just bring them.
Yeah, so I think, so who are we supposed to be targeting? Now, the truth is, as much as we call on the government to carry its responsibility, I don't think the government can do it alone.
Yeah, that's why we are even happy. We're happy when you asked us to come and we say, even with a 100,000, 50,000, you can educate a girl child. You can educate a girl child, because it's not just about you coming to say, oh, bring them to a private school for scholarship. But that's not all we're talking about here today. We're saying educating one girl child. You can say, okay, I will sponsor a child's food. I will sponsor a bag. I will sponsor transportation for the whole year. If it's going to cost you 20,000 naira to go to school,
I'll take care of that.
If it's going to say, okay, for this child to be fed, and how, and then monitoring, because one of the things Nigeria has really put as something that stops us is monitor, proper monitor. How do we now monitor this thing that we ensure that these girls get this?
Hold on, Mrs. Alatnetim. I'll take a break right now, and when we come back, you will continue. So we'll take this break, and we'll be right back. Please stay tuned.